Welcome to the Mindsharp booth. We are ramped, amped, and ready. And hopefully you will be too after this upgrade session to SharePoint 2010. It's a long time coming. My name is Rick Taylor. I will be your host for these next 30 or so minutes. I am a principal architect for Summit 7 Systems. We are actually a sister company to Mindsharp. So we do a lot of things together. And at the end of the session, you can email me with your questions, richard.taylor@summit7systems.com. I am a contributing author on the 2007 Administrator's Guide and principal author of the 2010 Administrator's Guide, which will be out next year, March-ish, May-ish, somewhere in there. So, goals of this session. There are different types of upgrades. I am not talking about migration. Okay, those two things are separate. I will touch on the difference between those two. There is a difference between a migration and a difference between what is an upgrade. This session will be talking about an upgrade. There are some things that you need to watch out for, which we call gotchas. If you do not watch out for these things, you will fail. Sometimes if you do watch out for these things, you will fail. But that's okay. We're going to try to do this all in 30 minutes. Okay, first of all, the difference between an upgrade and a migration. Okay, if I upgrade, I am taking what I have now and I'm going to install new bits, and then I'm going to have a new SharePoint infrastructure. Whereas a migration, I am going to take what I have, move it to a different environment and upgrade it from there, or I'm going to upgrade a new environment and move my content over. There's a bunch of different migrations, right? I can even have a content detach and reattach, like we used to do from 2003 to 2007. Okay, so that's a migration. We're talking about an upgrade. Some of you may be in a situation where you've got hardware that cannot be upgraded for whatever reason, financial or political or whatever it is. So you want to go to 2010 because of the new features, but for some reason you cannot migrate to a new environment. So you're going to have to take the bits, the newer bits, upgrade what you have to these newer bits. You have to watch out for certain things, and we'll go over those things. So now that you know the difference, there are some best practices that I would like to outline. This is kind of a recap of what we talked about yesterday. Prepare your foundation. In other words, make sure your current situation is good. Okay, now, good is relative, okay? Make sure that you run the pre-upgrade check and you take care of any issues that it tells you. If you do not take care of these issues, you will have a big red fail, okay? Clean up your errors, okay? There are a lot of errors that come through the life cycle of a SharePoint infrastructure. Please take care of those, or you're going to bring that unwanted baggage into your new environment. Just like some of you did when you went from 2003. You didn't take care of it, you're like, oh, that's okay, it's just a bunch of noise, and then you brought it over to 2007 and all hell broke loose. Then you had to take care of it then. Take care of it now, so you don't have to take care of it later. All right, test in non-production. This is a big, big deal. And I know a lot of you, maybe all of you, have a whole new non-production environment all ready to test. You would never ever put stuff in your production environment, right? Like you did the last time. Okay, don't do that here. Okay, test in a non-production. I have a blog post on how to build what we call a PPE, or a pre-production environment. You wanted to make sure that it is as close to your production environment as possible. One of the ways that you can do that, take some of the content from your content database. There's a whole bunch of third-party tools, all kinds of ISVs in this conference. Take a subset of that content, build a brand new farm, move that content over. Then when you upgrade those bits, then you'll actually get to see what it looks like and test all your functionality there. If you can, automate it. There's a tool that I built when I was at Microsoft that automates the building of a PPE, that automates the building of a farm. Okay, so if you're interested in that, just shoot me an email. Okay, basically what it does is it says, okay, where are the bits at? You're pointing to the bits, and it says, okay, well, which one is this? Is it WFE or an app? It's whatever. Okay, and then you just walk away, and it builds the whole farm for you. Okay, So automate it because you don't want to have to make any mistakes. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this particular point in this session, what you do with the upgrade is you want to make sure that your server is as clean as it can be. So it's what I call the swing methodology. Okay, so I've got an old farm over here. I'm going to bring a new one over here. It may even be virtual. I'm going to add it to this, but it's clean, right? And then I'm going to add roles to it. I'm going to take the roles off of another one and take him out. Blow him away, bring him back clean, swing him back in. Before you know it, you've got a brand new environment, especially for those of you that have 32-bit hardware that you're going to refresh. You take the 32-bit hardware, you blow it all away, you bring it back, your new hardware into the same farm, and then you rebuild. And I want to show you how that works. Now, we've known this for about 6 months or so, what the hardware prerequisites were. This thing needs to go away. Okay? 64-bit. Why? Because Windows Server 2008 requires 64-bit.